Welcome, everybody. This is Steampunk Star Raisin of AmberStreet.com, and I'm doing a live show, but this is not just a live show, not just any live show. This is a Star Trek Discovery review of the first two episodes by AmberStreet.com, and I, of course, represent AmberStreet.com, and I'm here with my co-host, Daniel, somewhat well-known on the internet for Daniel Star Trek. So how are you doing, Daniel?
Oh, I'm doing a little bit better. This is really great. I love what I watched last night. It was just beautiful.
Well, and this is not a spoiler-free review. So those of you who haven't seen it yet, and you don't want spoilers, then you should go away right now. But anyway, yeah, I saw the first two episodes. I signed up for the CBS All Access trial. They give you 1 week free trial, and you can decide whether you want to keep it or not. And it's like $6 a month with ads, and I think it's $8 a month without ads. How did you watch it? Did you watch it on?
Brian gave me a link to a free-to-watch site, and it was really, really good what I saw.
Okay, I was disappointed. The first episode I would give like maybe a 5, and then the second episode I would give maybe a 4 on a scale of 1 to 10. I will still say that it is better than the J.J. Abrams movies, which in my opinion the last 3 movies were a disaster, but I was greatly disappointed. Just like Screen Junkies that did a review on it, I thought the tone of it was a little bit too dark. I mean, these are kind of dark times already, you know, especially with the current president of the United States. And I think that people they want a lighter tone, something more like Next Generation. And there's nothing, you know, and it's felt like they were trying to do a war movie. I know everybody raved about the special effects, but I didn't like the way the ships were like, with the lasers, like machine gun lasers is what it looked like. It looked like machine gun lasers with the Klingon ships fighting the Federation ships. To me, if you understand like energy weapons like phasers and torpedoes and how it's based on theoretical physics, the combat should have looked more like Star Trek First Contact. So I had a problem with that. I also had a problem with how, maybe it's just because I'm a video editor, I had a problem with the way everything looked like it was in front of a blue screen. It was heavily CGI'd. It reminded me of like Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, which was still some pretty impressive CGI, but you could kind of tell that it was blue screen. And I really hate how they introduce you to this strong new captain. She's the captain of, I can't even remember the starship's name. It has a Japanese sounding name. And then they kill her off. What now?
Her name is Philippa Georgiou.
Is that the actress or the actual captain?
The captain, but the actress is Michelle Yeoh.
Michelle Yeoh. Yeah, Michelle Yeoh's character, she's beautiful. I thought she did a good, strong performance as a captain. That's the positive. I hated the way the Klingons looked. It makes no sense. They're saying that this is in the Prime universe. And they also had, the other thing I hated was the lens flare. Like it's like you could tell that they were heavily influenced by J.J. Abrams. It was a promising start to a story, but I just found it unbelievable that a Federation officer, especially a first officer, you would have got promoted all the way to commander, which is really hard to do in real life in the Navy to even make commander. And then all of a sudden, at the drop of a hat, betray your captain and stun her. And then, of course, she gets locked up in the brig. And then at the end of episode 2, she sneaks out of the brig because the containment field is failing, and then she goes through space, and she barely survives getting back on the ship through the other side of the containment field from where she was in the brig because the ship is heavily damaged. And then she meets the captain again on the bridge, and if I were the captain, I would be like, hey, security, we need to find a new brig. We need to find a new way to temporarily contain her because she already attempted mutiny and assaulted me. So it just seemed very contrived, and she's like, oh, it's okay, you tried to mutiny me, just come with me, grab a phaser, come with me, and we'll capture the Klingon spiritual leader because It'll help in this conflict because we can hold him hostage. I don't know. It just seemed like they were trying to make it into a war movie like Star Wars. And that's the reason why the movies didn't work. J.J. Abrams was trying to make it into Star Wars. I mean, he directed the first two rebooted movies, and then the third movie he was the executive producer on. And I was disappointed. And I was a little bit confused. It seemed a little bit like to lack direction. They kill off the captain by the end of episode 2, and then that ship is destroyed. And then she gets the commander, the first officer, she gets, they refer to her as number 1, but the number 1, she gets court-martialed at the end of the episode and stripped of rank and sentenced to life in prison. And so she gets sent off to prison. And that's how it ends. And so I'm not sure where they're going to go with this. And I don't know. It put a bad taste in my mouth. I didn't really. I mean, there were some things I liked about it. There was a lot of things I didn't like. But you loved it. Uh-oh. Daniel is gone. Bear with me, guys. I can't get them back, and I think I'm going to wrap up this review, keep it short and sweet. I don't have anybody watching me live right now. But yeah, that pretty much summarizes my review for Star Trek Discovery. In my opinion, a disappointing start. Let me see. Bear with me, guys. Let me see if Daniel's going to come back. Oh. Daniel's having computer problems with a virus. But yeah, on a scale of 1, oh, Daniel, you're back. Welcome back, Daniel. So you loved it. You loved the first episode. You said you hadn't seen episode 2, but you've seen episode 1. You loved it? I can't hear you, Daniel. Are you there? Hello?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. So tell me your basic review of the episode. What did you think of the first episode?
I liked it. I thought it was a very well done episode. I love the special effects. I'm not very happy that it's a prequel. I don't like it, and Hollywood. Well, yeah, they're doing prequels a lot now, and I just it's a rights issue. Okay, they have a lot of rights issues, and they can't do that. So it really does suck. But you got to accept what you got.
Well, I mean, I don't think I'm gonna. I got the trial version of CBS All Access. I think I'm gonna cancel when my trial ends on October the 1st. I'm not going to renew, and I'm going to cancel. Maybe that might be enough time to see episode 3, because from what I understand, they're going to be releasing 1 episode per week, and they've already released the first 2 episodes. So I don't know if that means a week from now they're going to be release episode 3 or not. But I'm not sure what the focus of this is. I was a little confused why they introduced such an awesome captain and then they kill her off at the end of episode 2. But I know you hadn't seen episode 2, but you said you didn't mind spoilers.
No, I don't mind spoilers. Besides, I already watched all the reviews anyways. I watched as many as I can because I was so curious, and it was the reviews were kind of negative, but I love the special effects and I love the ship. I love the interiors. I think that the problem with Michelle Yeoh is maybe I heard that they had problems, like they had arguments with her for the show. Maybe she wanted, I don't know, either it was maybe money problems or maybe it was like the direction of the show. I don't know. I think they dropped her, and I think that's why they killed her off.
Okay. I just thought it was interesting because the way they introduced her in the first episode, it was almost like that. That would explain a lot of things because it was almost like she was meant to be the regular series captain for Star Trek Discovery. That's what it felt like. She seemed like a very strong captain in the first episode, and then she just gets killed over something stupid. It's like, okay, we're going to capture the Klingon leader. We'll beam me and number one. We'll beam over, and we'll beam on a Klingon ship with no escort. And of course, she gets stabbed through the chest with a bat lift. And but then they end up not killing the. They end up the number one ends up killing the Klingon spiritual leader, which makes him a martyr, which starts the Klingon War.
Wow!
I really
she killed a torchbearer, and then she killed another. She killed two of them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I mean, and so it leaves on a cliffhanger where she's being court-martialed, and she's stripped of rank, and sentenced to life. All right, we'll wait for Daniel to come back. We might wrap this up in a minute or two. What's going on, Daniel?
No, just checking something. But anyways, I loved this episode. I'm kind of disappointed at the prequel because I'm like, oh, why does it have to be another prequel? Come on, another one.
Well, I had a problem with the commander. What's the character's name? The commander.
Burnham.
Commander Burnham. I had a problem with Commander Burnham.
Yeah, Michael.
Why is she Spock's stepsister when it's never been mentioned before? It just seems so contrived. What is it with the new Star Trek within the last few years with first officers rebelling? I mean, it's like they did that with like Captain Kirk, and he got demoted to commander, and he got promoted to captain again. You know, he got promoted from flunky ensign to commander, first officer, and then he rebelled against Spock, and then became captain, and then got permanently promoted to captain, then demoted to commander. And it's like they're doing the same kind of contrived thing, just like we need character conflict for the sake of character conflict with no reason at all. You know, that was my viewpoint of that plot device. And it just, I don't know. It didn't feel like completely like Star Trek to me. It just felt like they were trying to do a Star Wars themed Star Trek, and I agree with Screen Junkies. If they continue down this dark path, I don't know if it'll be good for the series. Maybe if I can watch it on a stream, then somewhere I might watch episode 3. But I'm not going to renew CBS All Access after my trial expires on October the 1st. My overall review is I would say that it was the series. The first 2 episodes lacked focus, lacked direction, and there's a lot of unexplained things in it that, supposedly it seems like they intended it to kind of take place in the Kelvin timeline, but now they're saying it takes place in the Prime timeline. But then that doesn't make any sense because why do the Klingons look so different? I don't know. There's a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe they'll explain it later on. I might watch episode 3. I'm not sure. It depends. I'll probably have to watch it on a stream somewhere because I'm definitely not going to pay $6 to $8 a month to watch it. It's just not that interesting to me. But
yeah. Well, it's really. I get to watch it for free. I live in Canada, and Space Channel you can watch for free, so it's good. But for example, there are a lot of YouTubers out there who don't like it. Like for example, Joe, he hated this series, and like
Oh, you talk about Joe from the podcast. Okay.
Yeah, Joe from the podcast. He was like, oh, he didn't like it because he's like, oh, this isn't Roddenberry's Trek. This is this is like a chaos universe or whatever. Well, I'm thinking, well, that's the point. They want to open it up to a younger audience, and
yeah, but they've already tried that with the movie. I feel like they failed with the last couple of movies.
I know.
But
they did.
They
did, but like I said, like I always say this, like they don't do it properly. Had they put this 40 years after Nemesis, people would have been like, oh, 40 years after Nemesis, why are the people like that? Why are they acting like that? Well, things change over time.
I mean,
So
the conflict with the Klingons would have made more sense because the original canon timeline for Star Trek, when they did the video game, they continued the story in the video game because that was the only medium that hadn't been canceled. And I think it was like 40 years after Next Generation or something like that the Federation went to war with the Klingons again. But
exactly.
But
look
yeah,
at
I mean, and I had a problem with Sarek, being able to commune with Spock's, with Commander Brennan, or Brennan. How do you pronounce her name again? Burnham. Commander, I had a problem with Sarek being able to commune, telepathically. It had never been established that Vulcans were not that telepathic. They were telepathic to a certain extent. I don't know. It seemed out of context, and it's like, why wouldn't Spock mention that he had a stepsister? It doesn't make any sense. And then if this takes place 10 years before, and Spock's stepsister mutinied and was court-martialed and stripped of rank and sent to prison, you would have thought that would have been at least referenced or mentioned by Spock at least once. It just seemed a little bit contrived plot devices. It's like, oh, we're Hollywood screenwriters. We need to do cookie cutter. We'll paint by the numbers because that's what works, or that's what we think works. I don't know. Go ahead. Overall, I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a 4. What's your opinion on 1 to 10?
I would give it a 7. It's good, but it's not perfect. It would have been perfect had you moved forward. I mean, this would have been much more believable 50 years after Nemesis, like 50 years. Okay, 2379, 89, 99, 2409, 2419, 2429. Let's round that up. Make it 2430. There was 2430. Things would have been resolved. All of these things would have been resolved.
Maybe. I don't know.
But no. I don't know. I mean, rights issues, man. Rights, and it's very tricky. Paramount in 2006 split with CBS.
Yeah.
Along with them, and because of that, they can't look similar, and I don't know, like whatever, but it is what it is, and but I'm hearing that a Mirror Universe episode is coming soon, and
I've heard that too.
Jonathan Frakes is directing it.
Yeah, I mean, it could be interesting because Jonathan Frakes is a really good director. He directed Star Trek: First Contact, and he, I heard that even William Shatner was interested in coming back.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna do that. Maybe with some like multiversal thing, like maybe him from a different universe. If they do that, that'll bring a lot of clout to the show, I think. But what's exciting to me is Alex Kurtzman mentioned spin-offs in the future, and
it has potential. I mean, like I said, I like it better than the Abrams movies because I thought those were a disaster. It has potential. I didn't really like that they killed off the captain after introducing her, and I didn't like the plot device with the first officer rebelling, and then it's like, okay, you threw her in the brig, and she breaks out of the brig. And then it's like, okay, then you invite her on your away mission to capture the Klingon leader. It made no sense to me. But overall, I guess let's wrap this up, Daniel. I don't want to make this too long.
What I wanted to say was, like, okay, back in Enterprise Day, you remember In a Mirror Darkly Part 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Those were really good
episodes. Some people have cited that as some of the best episodes of Star Trek of all time.
Exactly. There was a big rumor back then, and a lot of people told me it was going to happen, that they were going to spin off in the Mirror Universe, and that would have been wonderful if they did. And Kurtzman was talking about spin-offs, and since they're going into the Mirror Universe, I'm thinking it's possible that they might spin off in that universe.
Who knows? But let's try to limit this to just the review. We can always do Star Trek speculation later. This video is just mostly just a review. But anyway, this is Steampunk Star Raising Out. Thank you for joining me, Daniel. This has been a Star Trek Discovery review for AmberStreet.com. You have a nice day, and I will see you 25 billion years. I will.